To comply with this rule, you can be fined as high as 1,000 euros for the first offense and 2,000 euros for the subsequent offenses. So Ireland is a freaking expensive place to live in. Lights, camera, action. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My friends, my colleagues, my fellow nurses, are you guys thinking of moving to Ireland and pursuing your profession as a healthcare provider or as a nurse like what I did 5 years ago? Are you trying to search online or asking your friends what is life like in Ireland for a Filipino nurse? Well, let me share to you some of the things that I wish I knew about Ireland before I decided to work and live here. Hello guys, if you are new to this channel, my name is Boyd Ventura and you can call me Nurse Ventura. And in this channel, I post videos which talks about my experiences as a nurse living and working in the Emerald Isle, and I also share other people's stories to inspire and motivate others who are planning to work abroad or who are thinking of migrating abroad to pursue their profession. In the odd times, I also post videos about our travel in the Republic of Ireland or outside Europe, just to give you guys some entertainment in between my informative videos. But mainly this channel is about sharing and giving information. So if you're interested on these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the thumbs up button and give this video a freaking super like. Guys, just a quick background. 5 years ago, I was working in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as an ICU nurse. Then at some point, I felt like I needed a change of environment, and then I found out that some of my friends and my colleagues applied as a nurse here in Ireland. So I googled how to apply in Ireland as a nurse, which also I made a video about. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link up here, somewhere up here, so you can watch it. Then I saw a couple of photos and videos and movies about Ireland, and I thought, you know, Ireland is a wonderful country. It's a beautiful country. Then only when I started living and working in Ireland for a couple of years where I realized, you know, if I had known these things about Ireland that I'm going to share to you, I might have a different decision 5 years ago. Which leads me to my first point, that is, Ireland is a freaking expensive place to live in. Guys, you have to prepare yourself mentally and also financially because it is not cheap to live in Ireland. As a matter of fact, a report by the European Commission's data analysis stated that Ireland was the most expensive EU country for cost of living back in 2021. And it is also said that Ireland ranks second for the highest priced consumer goods and services in the EU, with 34% above the standard. So guys, if you're thinking that you'll come to Ireland and you will become a millionaire, think twice. You are wrong, my friends. You know, some people might have achieved that goal to become a millionaire. The cost of living alone will consume most of your earnings. So if your question is how much expenses you should expect and how much you can actually save, that is a topic for another day. This is an actual fact, guys. I'm not making this up. And this is actually a subject matter that people in Ireland talk about every day. The rise of prices in petrol, groceries, everything, name it, it all went up, especially after the pandemic. That's one very important thing to consider before you come to Ireland. Make sure that you are well prepared. So the second thing that I wish I had known about Ireland, I think you might already guessed what I'm about to say. Make sure that you are prepared for Ireland's weather. I don't know if it would have made a difference in my decision 5 years ago if I had known that Ireland's weather is, I don't want to say it, but it's not as nice as the weather back home in the Philippines, because the Philippines is a tropical country where we mainly have just the dry and the wet weather, whereas in Ireland they can have 4 seasons in a day, and their weather is mostly rainy, wet, dreary, gloomy weather. People in Ireland talk about the weather so much that you will hear it majority of the time the weather being horrendous or being gorgeous, the latter being rare. Usually you don't know what weather you're going to get for the day. Most of the time the weather forecast is not really accurate. The weather in Ireland does whatever it wants to do. Very unpredictable and never just one type. But expect rain, a lot of rain, which is too much for me sometimes. But what I like about the weather in Ireland is it doesn't get to the extremes. It doesn't really get super hot or super cold, and there's no typhoons, no floods, just mainly mild rain and wind. At here, nothing severe, and it doesn't really snow here that much. It snows sometimes, like for a day or two, but that's very rare. So if you don't mind the cold, wet, kind of dreary, gloomy weather, you won't have a problem with the Ireland's weather. But if you do mind it, so that's something that you also have to consider, because you know, sometimes sunshine really makes a difference. You know, the hot, kind of like warm, sunny weather makes a lot of difference. The third thing I wish I had known about Ireland is that owning and driving a car for the first time can really break the bank. It is very expensive, guys. Very, very expensive. Because nothing comes cheap in Ireland. Nothing is cheap. First of all, the taxes that you have to pay when purchasing a car is really, really dear, especially if you're looking to buy automatic cars, because manual cars are hard work. You know, for the first time drivers, guys, I think automatic is the way to go. It's hard to learn in manual. I tried to learn in manual and I failed the exam twice. I've passed on the third exam and I've driven manual for a couple of months, but I found it hard to drive manual. So we switched to an automatic car and I've been driving everywhere, you know, since we got the new car. But boy, oh boy, automatic cars are really expensive. So you really have to save for that, and you have to prepare, because once you buy a car, it's not the end of the spending. It is only the beginning. So after paying your car itself, you have to pay for motor tax, which is paid 3, 6, or 12 monthly. Now, the rate is calculated depending on the type of vehicle, so it will vary. On top of that, you have to pay for your car insurance, and depending on your age, your gender, your car type, and where you're going to keep your car, and your license type, your car insurance will vary. It can go as low as like 1,000 to 100,500 euros up to 3,000 plus euros annually for your first insurance premium. It really can soar high up to the roof like Superman. It is expensive, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of things you have to pay for. So make sure you are prepared before you buy your first car. So make sure that you shop around, guys, for the best car insurance that is available online, because there are loads of companies that offer different coverage and premiums. Maybe ask your friends or your colleagues what they think is the best for a first-time driver. Do your research, ask around on how to get a reasonable, pocket-friendly car insurance that will give you a good cover. Okay, so the fourth thing that I wish I knew about Ireland is that you have to pay for a TV license or television license if you own a television. So guys, this might be a shocking news when you are from the Philippines or when you are from that side of the world where we don't pay for TV licenses, for TV license. But when I first heard it, I was like, so apparently, guys, 2/3 of the European countries uses TV licenses to fund their public broadcasting services, and Ireland is sadly one of them. And that costs 160 euros per year, which is equivalent to 10,000 pesos per year. And if you fail to comply with this rule, you can be fined as high as 1,000 euros for the first offense and 2,000 euros for the subsequent offenses. So save yourself the hassle and pay the TV license fee, or else the other option is that just don't buy a TV. Buy something like a projector or something that is not a television. You may be eligible for a free TV license and apply for a household benefit package if you are between 66 and 70 and with some certain conditions. So if you are between 66 to 70, you can apply for this package and not pay for the TV license. But guys, we heard the doorbell rang one day and there was a guy with a clipboard and a paper, and I answered the door and he was like, in our record it says that you have a television here, are you paying for a TV license? And I was like, oh, we only watch Netflix and YouTube and streaming platforms. And he was like, but do you have a TV? I was like, yes, but we only use it for Netflix. And then he was like, a television is a television. Rules are rules, you have to abide. I will send you a notice next week, and if you don't pay, you know what will happen. It will be there in the letter. So I was like, after the guy left, I just paid for my TV license online, which is 160 euros. So, but anyway, I didn't receive that notice. And so guys, if you don't want to experience this, just pay for the TV license. Or if you don't want to pay for the TV license, just don't buy a TV, period. The fifth thing that I wish I knew back then is that finding a place in Ireland is really difficult, especially in the big cities. You can end up in a very long queue just to view the place or the apartment for rent, and you'll end up competing with like 20 other people, which is a lot. But yeah, that's the sad reality here in Ireland. There's a housing crisis and it's just hard to find a place to rent. You'll also find that a lot of the houses that are listed on the websites are overpriced and far from optimal. I made a video about renting in Ireland a couple of months ago. I'll put the link up here so you can watch it if you're interested. Okay, so if you guys are thinking to move to Ireland and work in the profession that you're in, make sure that you do your in-depth research and really go in through the details that I mentioned in this video, or you can do your own research about it. Just to be clear guys, I do not intend to discourage you to come and work in Ireland. I'm just sharing what I have experienced for the past years of working and living here in the Republic of Ireland. And to be fair guys, there are a lot of advantages of living and working here as well. By the way guys, if you are curious on how to become a nurse in Ireland, I also made a video about that. I'll put the link up here so you can watch it as well if you're interested in that. Make sure to watch my vlog next week where I will talk about our weekly, monthly expenses as a nurse living in Ireland. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to my channel and see you on the next one. Bye! Ang hirap naman mag-English. Oh my god, I'm still recording.